The council demanded submission. Humanity sent a recording of laughter. Ambassador Zethkar's crystalline appendages trembled as he held the human transmission device. The Council of Seven Worlds had expected many responses to their ultimatum. Fear, pleading, perhaps even desperate attempts at negotiation. What they had not expected was this strange rhythmic sound emanating from the small device. "What is this noise?" demanded High Chancellor Vexarn, his chitinous exoskeleton clicking with agitation. The massive arthropod leaned forward on his ceremonial perch, compound eyes reflecting the chamber's bioluminescent panels. Zethkar's translator struggled with the concept. "The humans call it laughter, Your Eminence. According to our xenobiologists, it appears to be a physiological response to amusement." The sound continued, a cacophony of human voices expressing mirth in dozens of different ways. Some were deep, booming sounds that seemed to emanate from barrel chests. Others were higher-pitched and melodic. There were snorts, chuckles, giggles, and full-throated guffaws. It was unlike anything the Council had encountered in their 3 millennia of galactic dominance. Amusement? The ethereal representative, Lumara, spoke through telepathic vibrations that rippled through the chamber's atmosphere. Her gaseous form shifted colors from deep purple to an alarmed orange. "They find our ultimatum amusing?" The recording had arrived exactly 72 standard hours after the Council's demand for humanity's unconditional surrender. The message had been clear: submit to Council authority, accept the placement of oversight governors on all human worlds, surrender their fleet, and transfer all technological innovations to Council oversight. The alternative was the complete annihilation of their species. Every species in the galaxy had received similar ultimatums over the centuries. The response was always the same: fearful compliance, sometimes preceded by token resistance that was swiftly crushed. The Council's military might was absolute, their technology overwhelming, their resolve unquestioned, but the humans had sent laughter. "Perhaps it is a malfunction in their communication systems," suggested Minister Krondel, his scaled head tilting in confusion. "Or a primitive attempt at psychological warfare." Ambassador Zethkar consulted his datapad, his eye stalks weaving nervously. "Negative, Your Eminence. Our intelligence indicates this was broadcast simultaneously across all human colonies, space stations, and ships. Conservative estimates suggest over 40 billion humans participated in creating this recording." High Chancellor Vexarn's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation. 40 billion, their entire population? "Not quite, Your Eminence. Our latest census indicates the human population now exceeds 67 billion, across 437 worlds and installations." The chamber fell silent, except for the continuing sound of human laughter. It was infectious in a way that disturbed the Council members. Several of the younger aides found themselves exhibiting their species equivalent of the expression. The Zephyrian diplomats' tendrils curled upward, while the Nixari representatives' bioluminescent patches began pulsing in an irregular pattern. "Explain this behavior," Vexarn commanded. "What does our psychological analysis reveal?" Zethkar's datapad chimed as he accessed the files. "The analysis is troubling, Your Eminence. Human laughter appears to be a complex social behavior that serves multiple functions. It can indicate joy, bonding, defiance, nervousness, or in this case..." He paused, his translator recalibrating. "Incredulity. Incredulity. They do not believe our threat is credible, Your Eminence." The silence that followed was deafening. For 3,000 years, the Council's threats had never been questioned. Their armada of world killers had reduced 17 civilizations to cosmic dust. Their bioweapons had sterilized entire sectors. Their message was always clear: submit or perish. "Show them the footage of the Keltharian homeworld," Vexarn ordered. "Remind them what happens to species that resist us." "Already transmitted, Your Eminence." The humans' response was more laughter, along with what their translators indicated were jokes about our targeting systems. Minister Krondel leaned forward. "Jokes?" Apparently, The humans found it amusing that it took our world killer fleet 6 standard hours to crack the Keltharian planetary shields. One human communication suggested we might benefit from turning it off and on again, though our linguists are uncertain what it refers to. Lumara's form shifted to a dangerous crimson. They mock our military prowess? The recording device suddenly fell silent, then crackled to life with a new sound. A single human voice speaking in clear galactic standard. "Citizens of the Council," the voice began, warm and conversational. "We've had a good laugh at your little ultimatum. Really, 60 billion humans found it quite entertaining. But now we should probably get serious." The council members leaned forward collectively. "You see, we've been watching you for quite some time, studying your tactics, your technology, your weaknesses. While you've been playing galactic overlord with primitive species who barely achieved interstellar flight, we've been busy. Very busy." High Chancellor Vexarn's translator began emitting warning tones. "Did you know that 17 human research vessels have been shadowing your fleet for the past 6 months? Or that we've already reverse-engineered your shield generators? Oh, and that bioweapon you're so proud of? We developed antibodies for it about 3 years ago. Patents pending." The chamber erupted in panicked chittering, clicking, and color shifting. "But here's the thing," the human voice continued, maintaining its conversational tone. "We're not like the other species you've bullied. We don't submit to threats. We don't cower before superior firepower. We adapt, we overcome. And when someone tries to threaten our children, our homes, our freedom," the voice paused. "Well, we get creative." Zethkar's datapad began receiving priority alerts. His eye stalks swiveled wildly as he processed the information. "Your Eminence, we're receiving reports from across the fleet. Our ships, they're experiencing simultaneous system failures. Navigation, weapons, life support." "How is this possible?" Vexarn demanded. The human voice answered, as if it had heard him. "Remember those research vessels we mentioned? They've been very busy installing some upgrades to your systems. Think of it as involuntary technical support. We've also taken the liberty of broadcasting this entire conversation to every world in the galaxy. All those species you've been oppressing, they're listening and learning. Turns out they've been waiting for someone to show them that the great and terrible council isn't quite so great, or terrible after all." Across the galaxy, revolution was already beginning. The human recording had done more than mock the council. It had shattered the illusion of their invincibility. "So here's our counter-proposal," the human voice concluded. "You can surrender. Now submit to trial for your crimes against sentient life, and spend the rest of your extended lifespans in comfortable prison colonies. Or," another pause, "we can continue this conversation in person, and trust us, that meeting won't be nearly as amusing." The transmission ended with a return to human laughter, but this time it sounded different. Darker, more dangerous. For the first time in 3 millennia, the Council of 7 Worlds felt something they had not experienced since their rise to power. Fear. And somewhere in the vast cosmos, 67 billion humans continued laughing.